Hey everybody, welcome back to Casey's Garage. The video you're about to watch, we cut down a tree, or actually cut down one tree, trimmed up three. They're not mine. We ended up getting rid of them because they're touching the shed roof, and the other one actually came down and landed on our porch roof. And so we're trying to pick a day when we can rent the chipper and, you know, grind it all up in a big pile, and we'll use it on mulch around the place. So in the process of doing it, you know, that's what we use to do most of the tree cutting, which is, you know, the 10-inch Bauer battery power chainsaw. Works well. Haven't sharpened it yet. You know, it's done a number of jobs. You know, 3 or plus amp hour battery is definitely a must. Not trying to sell it. You know, just what I use. It works great because I don't always have to cut trees. So something quick, easy to grab. So we ended up using that for all 90% of the work. We used our Blue Max to finish the big cutting of the stump. So over there it was not so hard to do, plus I needed a bigger bar because my Ryobi one, which is gas, but don't have a bar for it at the moment. But we ended up renting the chipper from Handy Rents, which is about 10 minutes from the house. So out there we can, you know, get it all done really fast, self-feeding. You know, instead of using our other one, we have to kind of jam it in there. Clogs up, doesn't want to grind it, plus it's only rated for like a 1-inch stick, and I got like, you know, 4 or 5-inch sticks. So we did that. Took probably 3 hours, give or take, to cut it all up because, you know, we had to cut limbs and then make it go in the feeder, drag it out. The pile of chipping is still sitting on the other side of this wall because it's been raining for a couple days, so moving it's been kind of pointless. So that's why it's all there. You know, it was kind of fun to do. It was a different type of work. We kind of got it all out of the way for the year. Next year we got to cut the hedges down, do the same process. We are putting a tree back, just something that gets to, I don't know, 6 or 7 feet tall. It doesn't get big. Down there it's manageable because this kind of what started out about this big and it ended up being, you know, 20 feet tall. So it ended bad. So I had to patch the roof on the shed, which I did for the winter, but I'll have to put a new roof up. But I got to re-roof the house as well. But in any case, you know, this takes 30-weight bar oil. You know, it doesn't have any locks. This is just, you know, to stop your hand from whacking this. That's pretty much about it as far as the whole process went. I mean, we didn't do anything major. No, we're, you know, ear protection, eye protection, and all that stuff because, you know, safety is always the third thing I worry about. You know, so this is how I am. I live on the edge, always have. But let me pick you guys up. I have it on a magnetic base, so I stuck it to the vise in the basement where I currently am. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about as far as this video goes. It's pretty much cut and dry, chipping, and then hauled it away. We used the new truck we recently bought to move the chipper, and then we used the old truck towards the end because he had to go use his new truck for something. But that's here nor there. But anyways, thanks for watching. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. one to cut, one to grind here. We're working over each other.